Have you ever broken up with someone and regretted it later? If so, why? Hey, people of Reddit. Welcome back to our channel, folks. Today, we're getting real about relationships. Ever dumped someone and later thought, oops, did I mess up? Well, you're not alone. Get ready for some heartfelt stories about hitting the brakes on love and then regretting it big time. From those split-second decisions to the endless what-if moments, it's going to be a roller coaster of emotions. So grab your snacks and let's jump into the world of breakup regrets. Before we head to the first story, please hit a subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Number 10. Yeah, she was my first girlfriend. Dated her for 6 years, nothing wrong in the relationship, but I assumed something was wrong because she was my first. I didn't know what other relationships were like for comparison. So when I started dating other girls, I realized I screwed up. 1. I had never once gotten in an argument with her before. 2. She has never judged me before, even when I clearly made a mistake, and I never judged her either. 3. When one of us wanted time alone, we both respected it and never pressured the other person into doing anything. 4. I never had to wait for her to be in the mood for us to do things together. I simply asked her to hang out with me and she says yes every single time, and I always said yes to her every single time. Even despite this, we did notice when the other wasn't in a good mood and we left each other alone. It's like we had this intuition about each other. 5. No one was controlling the other on anything. We were both able to do whatever we wanted without the other person being suspicious or questioning each other on it. It felt like she only added to my life. There wasn't a single thing about her that felt like it made my life harder. No one was playing mind games or using the other for anything. She has never once asked me for money, and I never once asked her for anything other than spending time with her. It just felt so natural to be around her. I will die with this regret. I took this relationship for granted. Edit. The reason why I broke up. Number 9. Broke up with a girl because she was about to head back to a fancy college and I'd assumed she'd quickly break up with me after a few weeks there. I was determined to not be the one getting dumped, so I did it first. Turns out she was devastated and was planning on making a long-distance thing work. I felt terrible, but I couldn't just take it back, so I decided to give her some space. Half a year later at Xmas break, we started talking again and quickly got back together. I went back to school myself and we've been married 13 years. Number 8. Because I was in a bad place and I felt like I didn't deserve being with someone good, I went with people that fit my idea of myself. This was generally regarded by everyone involved as a bad move. Do not recommend. Date above your perceived station in life. Not only because you deserve it, because it will make you a better person. Number 7. I don't regret breaking up with anyone, but I do regret not giving some people a chance. In my life, I've had some genuinely awesome women that were interested in me and I let them slip away for toxic and horrible relationships. I could have been part of a team where we elevated one another and together became better than we could have alone. Instead, I just couldn't stop myself from settling down into toxic and hateful relationships. I wasted my youth and can never get it back. Reply. Man, you sound like some of the men I've dated and try to drunk text me every so often. I know they regret breaking up with me or giving it a real chance. It's usually cause they have avoidant attachment issues. Sadly, every time someone comes back, I'm either sue over them and have zero feelings, or I'm dating someone new and just can't be arsed to invite that kind of drama into my life. There's maybe a few guys in my past I hope sort their shit out and meet someone good for them. Still eternal bachelors. Number 6. Yes, but not because of the woman I was leaving. We were together for 3 years and we ran our course. That was fine and it wasn't that hard to break up. But she had a dog, a tiny little Jack Russell Terrier who was already 12 years old when we first met her. That dog was my spirit animal and we just bonded instantly. She followed me around everywhere and I loved that dog bits. She was a tough nut, but she was really frozen due to age, so I bought her clothes so she could be both warm and a badass at the same time. It doesn't show in that picture, but she was really confident in these clothes. When we broke up, it sucked because I had to leave this sweetheart behind. She wasn't mine. And then 4 months later, she passed away. The last thing I did was slam the door behind me, and I have so much regret in my heart that I didn't take a moment to say goodbye to this dog or stayed for another 4 months before breaking up so I could have been there for her at the end. It sucks. Number 5. Yes, We were together 4 years. She was the first person I wasn't related to that said that they loved me. I was hooked. I was unhappy for a majority of the relationship. I was cheated on. She made me hate myself. I missed the routine of it. I missed going to our places. I missed the inside jokes. I missed the friend she was. The friend that attaches to the end of the word girlfriend. I am thankful that when she came crawling back 2 years later, married and lonely for me, I was strong enough to say no. Number 4. Shortly after the most crushing breakup I had, I found a girl a few years younger than me with 2 kids just looking for an adult friend. I was clear about not looking for a relationship, and we started hooking up. A couple months and I really liked this girl and asked her to make it official. She agreed and I was super into her, but awkward with the kids. She never pushed me to be more involved with them too fast, and the kids and I met slowly and then more and more. We actually broke up a few times. I would end it because it got too scary with the kids, and then we would get together, and then she would end it because it was feeling too serious. On and off for about 2 years until I got offered a massive promotion 12 hours away and took it. We split up, for real, which lasted about 8 months. Then by fluke I ran into her while visiting my parents and we rekindled. I didn't even realize how much I had missed her until then. We've been doing long distance for about 9 months now, and I'm looking for a job back in town. I proposed, she accepted, and she's constantly sending me links to dream homes we should look at. The kids and I love each other, and when she works I've been taking the kids to school and picking them up, and they both call me Dad. I think the biggest thing that kept breaking us up is that we both went into it refusing to want a real relationship and directly looking to not fall in love, and let our stubbornness and egos, which we both have plenty of, refuse to let us reevaluate or be the first to tell the other we were wrong. Number 3. I dated a woman few months after a breakup from a previous relationship that lasted a few years. Maybe 6 months, and I realized I wasn't able to give her my heart because I was still hung up on my ex. I explained this to her, and she told me she was willing to work through it with me. Unfortunately, I had become pretty depressed, thinking I was a failure for not being able to really love this woman who was perfect for me. I even made one of those pros/con lists to help me decide what to do, and there was nothing in the con side. We had everything in common, enjoyed the same movies, had many of the same friends, had similar goals in life, etc. We had become very close friends, and that's where the barriers seemed to be for me. My heart wasn't free to go further. I broke up with her and regretted it every day, wishing I could be over my ex. Maybe 6 months later, I was in a place where I thought I was ready to try being in a relationship again. This woman had moved on and seemed really happy with the guy she was dating, so I let the idea of us being together fade. After her, I dated a woman who would break up with me when she went back for her final semester of college because she felt she was gay. I never had any idea. I was disappointed because she was a really sweet woman, but there were no hard feelings between us. She needed to be honest with who she was, and we stayed good friends for a couple years until she moved out of state. After her, there was a terrible relationship where I was cheated on for a couple years. And then I met my wife. We've been married for 20 years, and I've never looked back and wished things had worked out differently. All my bad decisions and pain led me to her, and this is where I want to be. Number 2. My first girlfriend. I wouldn't say I regret it because I am who I am today because of the decisions I made. It took me a lifetime of bad and sometimes abusive relationships to realize that actually everything I could have wanted and needed was in her. She was truly a good soul, and in my naivety I thought there would be many others like her, but life doesn't work that way. Last I heard, she had a husband and a kid. Couldn't be happier for her. Number 1. Broke up with my girlfriend because she didn't really fit into my idea of who I wanted to be with. About 2 weeks later, it suddenly hit me. She was a kind person who genuinely liked and accepted me. What the F was I doing? Asked her to reconsider, and she said no. We remained friends, and a few weeks later I asked her to reconsider again. She said no because she didn't know if I was just lonely or wanted to be with her. Told me to wait a few months and then decide if I wanted to ask her again. We've been married for close to 10 years, and I've never been happier. Thanks for hanging out with us as we dived into the world of breakup regrets. If you've got your own story to share or any thoughts on today's topic, don't be shy. Drop them in the comments below. And hey, if you've ever hit that subscribe button, you're officially part of our awesome crew. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this roller coaster of emotions, and remember, you're not alone in those post-breakup what-if moments. Take care, stay awesome, and we'll catch you next time.